Leaving the KOA in Rawlins. Want to see if I can find some breakfast somewhere, some water, and then we're heading our way to Colorado. The Continental Divide Trail, a hiking trail, runs right over that ridge right in front of us. So we got 229 miles for the day. Let's see how that goes. Beautiful day today. Nice temperatures. It's supposed to be still pretty warm in Colorado. My wife told me yesterday that they're still seeing the high 90s in the Front Range. Hopefully we won't have that up in the mountains, but there's always supposed to be a cold front coming in the next few days, so I also have to see how it all goes. But after today, I'm pretty much at the halfway point of this journey, so hopefully I'll make it through the next week or so. I'm already pretty worn out, I gotta admit. So I'm looking forward to Colorado. I am from Colorado, my home state, so I do a lot of riding there. It's absolutely beautiful. Some of the hardest trails are gonna be in Colorado. There's some pretty crazy cool passes that I'm gonna ride, so really looking forward to it. But the goal is today to go from Rawlins, Wyoming to Silverthrone, Colorado, about 230 miles. Silverthrone is right on I-70, so we're basically going the distance with a little diversion between I-80, which runs right by Rawlins, and I-70 by Silverthrone. Nice big road just suddenly turned into a nice big gravel road. That's cool. We are here in the Sierra Madre Mountains, which span both southern Wyoming and northern Colorado. Not too far from the border. Definitely like riding on marbles here, so definitely a little loosey, but nothing too crazy. Alright, we turned off the main dirt road. I just saw a sign saying 30 miles to Bags, 33 to Encampment, which are like the starting points of the Wyoming BDR if you're running it south to north. So pretty close to that area too. Wow, that's beautiful up here. And I see my trail down below. Beautiful. This is wonderful riding here. Beautiful fresh air, slightly cool at 62. Sun is shining. Fresh smell of all the plants here. It's great. Nice little rutted ascent. Yeah, it's Colorado riding on the mild side. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for some true Colorado pass riding between Webster, Mosquito, and then a bunch of other passes. I'll take this any day over deep sand or mud. But if you're not from Colorado or Mountain State and you're not used to it, I can definitely see how some of the areas here, especially the high passes, the skinny shelf roads, can be pretty intimidating. I started out riding them years ago, jeeping, rock crawling, and then transitioned to dirt riding. I'm pretty used to it, which honestly is a little unfortunate, because there's nothing more magical than doing like a really cool high exposure kind of creepy pass the first time. Getting that feeling is just amazing. Like going down Blackbear for the first time, or going up Imogene, or doing a red cone, and like some of these really iconic passes. Like there's just some magic the first time you do it. Without luggage on, this would be a really fun track. A lot of little jumps and fun little challenges to it. You can really just get after it. But I've already lost and broken enough on this trip, so take it here pretty easy. But you can tell that this track, when it's wet, would be a nightmare. Really deep, muddy ruts. Yeah, don't do this when it's wet. You're not gonna have fun. Alright, we're entering a burn area. Ugh. Going up here. I think this is from the fires 3 years ago? 2-3 years ago? Something like that, yeah. A huge fire up here in Wyoming and in Colorado at the same time. People were worried that these would combine. The fire in Colorado at the time already was by far the biggest fire Colorado's ever seen. And then combining it with another 100,000 plus acres of this fire would have been awful. Steep, sandy, rocky, rutted. Fun riding. Ugh. Get slapped by bushes. Ow. When you're in one of those ruts, you don't really have an option. You just kind of have to go through with it. They're so deep, I'm kind of worried about hitting the foot pegs. Some crazy views here. Definitely a little more challenging here. This road is in pretty bad condition, if you even can call it a road, and extremely overgrown too. This hill would be fun coming up from the other side, though I have to say I always, well, not always, I usually prefer coming up steep things than going down steep things. Whew, a little bit of a workout here. Oh, and got a truck in front of me too. And deep water crossing. Not that deep. Thanks. Big, massive, deep river crossing coming up. Well, maybe in the spring. It doesn't look too bad now. But you know, they're always slightly deeper than they look. There's loose sand on top of it too, for some extra fun. This trail is not on an easy side with a loaded bike, I tell you that. On a big ADV bike, you gotta be a really good rider, honestly, or you're gonna take a long time. That went right up my nose. You gotta be careful to pick the right line, because look at this. Some of these ruts are like 4 or 5 feet deep, which is pretty extreme. If I crash into one of those ruts, honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Watch out, puppy. Oh, sheep. Some shepherd dogs in a pretty bad spot. So wait for the sheep to pass. Good puppies. A good boy. I will wait here patiently for your sheep to pass. It's okay. Alright. Thank you, guys. I'm not trying to get to your sheep. How's it going? Good. All clear up here? It's good? Good. A shepherd on his horse. That is so awesome seeing that. Oh, there's another horse. That is really awesome. Like, where else are you gonna still see shepherds running their sheep? Oh, shoot. That was quite challenging. I'm honestly surprised I made that. Jesus. Let's hope it's not like miles and miles of that. I mean, I enjoy a good challenge, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of work. Especially in a really tall bike like this one. Shit. Doesn't look great up there. Alright. This is an extremely difficult route now. Man, that was something. Glad the sheep weren't there in that big rut where I got stuck. I am glad the GoPros are rolling, I tell you that. Oh, look at those views. But yeah, I cannot recommend this route unless you're on a light bike. And even then, it is really challenging. On a big bike, I don't even want to think about it. I'm gonna try to peek down these steep hills before going down them. If this was wet, I mean, at least for me, my riding skill, I would consider completely impossible. It's just not worth it at all. This section I cannot see down, which is not great. And it's extremely steep. Very gentle with the front brake. Okay. Okay. Woo. Jeez. Did not expect for this kind of riding today. Oh man, ooh. This hill would be very challenging coming up too. Wow. This is like Fleecer Ridge territory. Oh. Wow, that was a really steep descent. Oh man. Another hill. Okay. Driving the rut, that decision was made for me, not by me. Deep mud hole. Oh, my hands are hurting. Oh no. Is this not where the mud starts? Looks like I'm gonna fork into another dirt road down there. Hopefully it's easier. Otherwise I'll be here all day. Props to Brady, Meerkat ADV, for running this the other way. I'm not sure which way is more difficult, but neither one is easy. Oh, another water crossing. Oh man, that looks pretty muddy here. Honestly, trying to drive on the side here is not gonna work well. It's just, sometimes it's easier to just go on a straight path through the mud than on a off-camber skinny section around it, because then you slip or you get stuck or something and you're just gonna really go in the mud. Ooh, that was a close call. Damn, these are cheap trails. My estimate of a half hour earlier to cross the Colorado state line is definitely off, but that was based on the fast gravel roads. Didn't think I was getting into the most technical part of this trip without warning, but hey, that's the adventure. I can laugh about it because everything went well, and hopefully it's going to go well. Once it doesn't, it's probably a little less laughter. I feel like I haven't really gotten to use my first gear on this trip, but this trail has been pretty much all first gear. I guess there's a, oh, okay, I know where I am. I've seen it on the video from 2 Canadian dudes. There's that bridge crossing, and there's a water crossing here. See how deep this water crossing is. Doesn't look too crazy. But I'm sure in the spring it's a lot deeper. That's why it is that bridge. Yeah, these 2 Canadian dudes, I saw their video on the Continental Divide. This was part of it. And props to them for going down this trail too. They were on 690s, but still not easy at all. But you know, on video it never comes across in a way that you can easily tell if something is difficult or not. So take my word for it. I've ridden my share of difficult things, and this was difficult on a loaded bike. Should have taken some pictures on my daily blog that I'm writing about this, but I'm just too busy driving to stop and bring out my phone and take some photos, which is a crappy excuse, I admit, but I wonder if these ruts are always here or if these are due to that record-breaking rain that we've gotten in Colorado and southern Wyoming this year. Second gear, first time in a while. Oh man, what a trip. Man, this is such an amazing bike, honestly. I really love the 690 701 platform. Yes, you make compromise. You make compromise every single bike. On this bike, it's clearly the road riding. It's definitely a little more uncomfortable, more vibrations, can't go as fast. But in the dirt, show me a better traveling bike. Yes, you can kit a 501 or something like that, or 450, but you have to deal with crazy service intervals and all that kind of stuff. This platform, you'll need to do some work for it. The bone stock is probably not going to be great for this, but put a little bit of money in it, build it out. Like I'm a huge fan of the rally towers, and a few basic things, and you're good to go, really. Especially on trails like these, there's just it eats it up like it's nothing. The bike can do far more than I can. So the bike is never gonna be your limit on the trail. And a lot of people are riding the T7s, and they're great bikes. They're absolutely great bikes when it comes to lightweight adventure bikes. They're more comfortable on the road, but you know, for real dirt stuff, I still prefer this. T7 still weighs quite a bit more than this bike. Then in its stock form too, the low fenders get clogged up with mud, but also a great choice. I think it's like the most popular choice for like BDR and like off-road style touring right now. So yeah, but you know, I also use this bike outside of just touring. I want to use it on day trips and ride some fun, like really challenging trails. And you can do it with this bike. That you cannot do with the T7 as well. Of course, again, people like full tours that takes that thing to Erzberg will prove me differently. But for us mere mortals, for a trail bike, if you want a one and all like off-road bike that can still kind of keep up with some 4-stroke smaller bikes, this is it. It's not going to keep up with the 2-strokes, no, but show me anything over 450cc that can. And I had a 450 Husky 4-stroke before this bike, and you know, I liked it, but the service interval, the really short fuel range was just a no-go for me. Alright, we're coming up to the border, going Colorado. Where is it? It must be up here somewhere. There must be a marker at the tree. Oh, there's a gate up there. That might be it. Oh, can't believe we made it to Colorado. This is the Colorado border right here. Awesome. Oh man. You know, I thought I may not make it all the way, especially after Montana. Those some rough freaking days in Montana, Idaho, and now finishing Wyoming. Half the trip basically done now, which I can't believe there's still half to go. It feels like I've been riding forever, but all of Colorado and all of New Mexico, and it's a long way through New Mexico. It's still to go. But at least Wyoming went out with a bang. That trail, man. Just like it wanted to remind us that Wyoming has also some gnarly trails, not just Colorado. Alright, I'm gonna connect back to the main route from here. There would be another hard section, but I just looked down, it did look pretty muddy, and it's also longer than this hard section that we just did now. So I'm happy. Let's stick with the medium for now and make some time up. Plus those white cliffs down there look pretty amazing too to ride by. But just look at these ruts. If this trail is wet, it's just, forget it. It's just impossible. These are like at least a foot deep. I know on the GoPro you can't always tell, but a beautiful little mountain lake here with a nice little cabin. So cool. And we're back on gravel. driving through Steamboat Springs. Kind of overwhelming how much civilization there is here. It's the biggest place that I've seen in a while, honestly, because even on the way out from Colorado, yeah, there's not much there that you drive through on the way to Montana, so. But pretty busy here. I can't wait to get out and back on the trails again. Just not a big city person, which I know Steamboat is not a big city, but compared to where I live, it is. Alright, we're back on dirt finally. Making pretty good time today so far. I do meet up with my brother, my wife later. My wife's gonna bring me my spare drone. Not sure how well it's going to work on like auto follow, but I'm gonna hand her mine because it just takes, the one that crashed takes so much space away that I don't need to do that. Plus she's bringing new tires, so I might switch out the tires too, since they're getting pretty worn already. Which I know 1,500 miles or whatever I've done so far doesn't sound like a lot, but it is what it is. It's a great little camping area here. Just outside of Steamboat. Top of that big pass, like 9,500 feet, I forget what that pass is called. Holy washboard. I'm just a few miles outside of Kremmling, Colorado. Back on dirt, making pretty good time. We got 40 miles left to Silverthrone. I am in the Williams Fork Wilderness, and you can see to my left, once I'm past this berm, where the wildfires started, and the entire mountains in the background, everything's just burnt to the ground. Fire was at over 200,000 acres, or even more in the end. Heard from here all the way down to the Front Range, through parts of Rocky Mountain National Park. I live in the Front Range of Colorado, and I remember from my house our bedroom window points west right to the foothills. At night you could see all the glowing, the orange glow from all the fires. It was pretty insane. It was a really bad year for Colorado when it comes to fires. What is this? A big mine of some kind? Henderson Mill. Yeah, no idea what that is. but it's pretty big. Another smaller reservoir here. And we're in Summit County, Colorado. One of the most picturesque counties. So many cool trails, jeep and bike trails and skiing, everything around here. Great place. But we have made it to Silverthrone, destination for today. So from here I'm gonna see if I can maybe clean the bike, do some maintenance, see if I need to change out the tires, try to get everything just washed, and yeah, give it like a halfway point in the maintenance day makeover, because it is looking pretty rough. And so am I desperately need to do some laundry. Tomorrow, first thing, I'll be tackling Webster Pass in just outside of Keystone. One of my absolute favorite areas in Colorado. I've done Webster, Radical Hill, Red Cone a bunch of times with the Jeep. I haven't been up there with the bike, so should be interesting. But gorgeous, gorgeous area. I spotted a Murdoch here in Silverthorne, which is going to be the perfect store to stock up on some outdoor essentials. So I'm gonna head there later once I get checked in the hotel, put my stuff away, and then I just have to find a place to pressure wash the, the bike. Honestly, I should pressure wash myself while I'm at it, but you win some, you lose some. And I'm staying right adjacent to I-70, which is running up to Eisenhower Tunnel here. So we went from I-80 to I-70 the long way round. Alright, time to unload and get everything done.